Hey everyone, Alex here. Today I'm going to go into how to create a pencil on paper effect using Cavalry Animation Software. Alright, so as good a place to start as any is to begin with a text shape. We'll leave the word Cavalry in there because that works, and we'll go for a fatter font like Futura. You can't go wrong with Futura. And we'll change the fill on the text shape to white. Then we'll just enable the stroke. Now with the text shape selected, I'm going to go on the create an extrusion button at the upper right of the screen, and this will add an extrusion to your shape, whatever it may be. We want the extrusion to be the same color as the text for now, and we also want it to have a stroke also. I'm just going to go select both of these, and I'm going to change the join style to round along with the cap style. What this means is that I'm not going to get these weird sharp cornered edges where the corners are mitering. Now if you remember that little clip at the start, all of my extrude points had lines across here. To get that, you need to go onto the extrude, load it into the attribute editor, and then turn off combine meshes. This will create a line along every point on that shape. So if I select the edit shape tool and the text shape, you'll be able to see here that these points are where the extrude makes its extrusion from. That's going to be important information for you if you're, say, adding a submesh to the extrude and you want each section of that extrusion to have a different color. That's possible with a submesh and a color array, but that's another thing. So back to the task at hand, we said we were going to make this look like it was hand drawn with a pencil. We're actually almost there. It's so easy now. All you have to do is, if I select both of these, text shape and the extrude, I'm going to go onto the stroke. I'm then going to enable tapered width and double taper. We're going to change the end width on tapered width to 0%, and then as you can see, we're starting to get that sort of, the thinness of a pencil stroke at the end, like whoosh, whoosh. That's the thing now. That's what I'm calling it. Everything's just going to have a sound effect like whoosh. We're not quite there yet anyway. We need to make this look a little bit less perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to group these, because at the moment it's looking a little bit too much like I've used a ruler for every line, as you would in school with a technology class doing this sort of thing. So on the group, I'm then going to go to filters, and I'm going to add the distortion filter. If you've used it recently, then your most frequently used filters will come up here next to your filters anyway. So I'm just going to add a distortion to this, which looks horrendous. However, once you've turned distortion down to about 2 on the amplitude, you start to see that we're just getting more sort of natural looking jagged pencil-y lines, which is great. It's also a little bit animated, but that's what we want. It's an animation app. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is really easy, and I'm just going to go into demo scenes, distribution, graph paper. Let's just group all this new stuff that's been made. And then we will load either duplicates horizontal or vertical. We'll go on to count, and we'll just increase that a few times, but also increase the size just so we don't have to make anything too expensive at the moment. On the group, just going to lower the opacity so it looks more like graph paper that you'd get in a school book. And then I'm going to add the same distortion that we used earlier down here, drag a connection from that onto the filters of the group we've just made, so we're not creating a new filter for everything that we do. We've added the same sort of sketchy look to the graph lines, and if you wanted to take it a step further, you could then go and add the tapered width and double taper to the graph paper as well, just so it's a little bit more sort of faded through, but that's up to you. So I'm going to go ahead and actually do another one, a freebie for you, because I just think this one's quite fun. I'm going to create a new composition, and I'm going to go with the arc shape. I'm going to increase the outer radius to about, 220. That's nice, yep. And the inner radius to about 170, just to create a nice simple arc. And again, I'm going to make this white, and I'm going to add the stroke along with the double taper that we had earlier, and we're going to go for the extrude again. I should have done this the other way around, but we're adding the we're adding the tapered width to the extrude as well. And one thing before I forget, is to turn off the combined meshes on the extrude and enable fill, make it white. Now you might not know where this is going yet, you might do, but I'm going to group both of these, and then I'm going to select the duplicator at the top right there, and I'm going to set the duplicator's distribution to linear. I am actually going to increase the count on this duplicator. We'll go for like 6. We'll just spread the size. I'm not quite sure where I need that size to be yet. I feel like there might be good. About 92. It's going to vary for whatever you're doing anyway. Then I'm going to right click, shape position, add behavior, stagger Y. I'm going to immediately on the stagger, I'm going to go to the graph, and I'm going to use this button at the bottom right of the graph to flip it. What this means, it's just flipping the direction that the stagger is going to go in, so it's going to be highest on the left or highest on the right. And then we can increase the maximum on the stagger until you're at the right position and lower the minimum to suit also. We may have to go back on the duplicator and just decrease that size a bit. Back on the stagger until you know exactly where you are, and you can sort of see where we're going with this now. This is where the fun stuff comes in, because now you can start playing with this and it will look like a 3D sort of blueprint type thing. So off the bat, let's have a look. We've got a start angle. I'm going to get the start angle to go from about minus 50 to plus 50, and we'll do that with an oscillator. So add behavior, oscillator, and then on the oscillator we're going to go minus 50 on the minimum and 50 on the max. And that should, yeah, that'll wave that in and out, but we don't want it to be the same, so let's just add the stagger on the oscillator to 5, and this will start. Yeah, now we're going somewhere. That's cool. All right, and then we're going to do the same for the end angle. We don't want to sort of overlap that bit, so let's say 290 to about 220. Let's do that. We'll add the oscillator 290 to 220. Add behavior, oscillator to the end angle, 290 to 20, and again we're going to stagger that by 5. Yes, gnarly. Okay, that's cool, but I don't want to end there. I'm actually going to add another one. I'm going to add a random to the rotation of the arc and just spin these around a bit. But yeah, there's some really cool things you can do with shapes here that it's just awesome that you can make these sort of shapes in Cavalry using Extrude. And this is just one way to sort of pencil blueprint look to your designs. I think it's awesome. Maybe you will too, but it's just a quick thing for you guys. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. If you want to see anything in particular, please ask. I probably haven't thought about it, but I'd love to get into making more of this sort of stuff, so just let me know. And thank you. I'll see you on another day.